Hey guys, welcome back to Poseidon, Master of Atlantis. Today we're going to move on to the fourth adventure in the Poseidon campaign, Atlantis Reborn. Hard times have fallen on Atlantis, food and goods are hard to come by and its people struggle to survive. This adventure is difficult and consists of 6 parent city episodes and 2 colonies, yes. Quite a lengthy one, and quite a lot of the goals in the parent city are population based essentially. But let's head to the first mission of the adventure.
Its crippling effects remain. The streets of Egypt and Phoenicia are littered with the remains of the unfortunate dead. The many farms and workshops that were once filled with happy and industrious workers are silent, and very few goods and foods are being produced. The effects of the plague are not limited to the Mediterranean. In Atlantis, the lack of Egyptian and Phoenician products is taking a toll. The shells of Atlantean agoras are nearly bare, and people from Gades to Autok are waiting in long lines for the goods that they so desperately need. Spirits are sinking fast, and many lament that Atlantis will never again see the glory of its golden years. To salve his people's wounded spirits, Atlan, our glorious High King of Atlantis, has sent his eldest child to the easternmost region of Atlantis. There, a great city will be built, which will embody the best of the Atlantean yesteryear. The city will be called Clietos, in honor of the mother of our immortal King Atlas, Clieto. The people of Atlantis will be able to point to this city with pride, and know that Atlantis still reigns supreme.
If anyone else finds that particular briefing annoying, you're going to have to put up with it throughout this entire adventure. That sort of videotape roll thing is used, which is really annoying. Anyway, this is the mission, Reconstruction. 800 people in townhouse are better, so basically you're going to get some top level housing from the start. 40 people in residence are better, and support free... Why does that say triremes? It should be frigates as far as I know, unless it's... I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure that's a typo, that should say that. So we're going to make a city Clietos, and it looks as if we're probably not going to be trading with the main cities of Atlantis, so let's head to the city. Pause, and slow time right down. I just want to check one thing. No, they are frigates, it's if I just click, yeah, it's frigates, that's just a typo in the briefing. Okay, so let's have a look at this map. It's a lot of empty space, a bit of a blockage here, so none of this coastline, this flat coastline over here is really usable because it's not connected to the sea. So there's only little bits around here that we've got access to, and this island, but there's no point building on this island. I think in the third mission it gets wiped out anyway, so there's no point. What else have we got? We've got oranges and urchins, so we've got no fleece, so we're going to have to import that. Timber, black marble, quite a bit down there. Good space up here for putting maybe any sanctuaries that we can build, which we can do from the very outset. Citadel of Poseidon, or the Pillar of Atlas. I'm not going to build either, there's not enough funds. As you notice, there's only 4,000 drachma and pretty much no exports, because the only way to make money is to import grapes from Tyre and sell Carthage wine. Obviously excessive taxation is necessary too. So our cities are, we've got, for unusually, this is the only adventure where you start with 2 colonies. You've got Knossos, which sells meat and wood, and Syracuse buys fleece, and we can't sell fleece because we can't make it anyway. Lixus only buys some goods, so we're going to be pretty limited on our trade. And I know that events happen that sort of make the coastline shorter, so we're going to have to be careful. And there's no point building anything here because this is all blocked in anyway. Only bits that are usable are sort of like this bit and all over here. You may be able to get in the odd, if you put bridges across here, you might be able to wend your way across this, but it's going to be fairly difficult. But it's not a big deal right now. So there's a bit of farmland down here, obviously only for origins, and there's some over here. Now with 4,000 drachma, we don't have much, and we've got to rely on allies. Saqqara sells bronze and marble, doesn't buy anything, they only sell things. They only sell things. They buy something we can't produce. They buy something we can't produce, so we can only trade with Tyre and Carthage. Later we'll be able to trade with Memphis, but again, it's limited because they can only sell us a small amount of olive oil. So the adventure's tough. They did say it's difficult. And quite a lot of the time I might be in debt, but I should be able to get out of it if I import enough grapes. I can only get 12, so I can only sell. So the wine is just going to get imported and sold. And I will probably have 2 blocks here, one here, and then loads of blocks up the back here. I don't think a city centre street idea with 2 blocks each side is a good idea, to be honest. Not in this one when we don't have much food. And all of our central stuff has to be here, so we've got to have everything fairly close. We might have to put yards and such closer. Unfortunately, I don't think we get a phoenix. Oh, look, there's a bit of meadowland right in there. I didn't even notice. Since when was that there? I didn't recall that being there the first time, so maybe I just never noticed it. Anyway, I got an idea of what to do, and I'll come back in once I have planned out a common block. I will obviously go straight into the export industry with importing grapes and selling wine, because we're going to need to do that from the outset. Okay, so here's the semblance of our ability to rebuild Atlantis. So 2 common blocks separated by basically a 5-tile gap with a road going up here, because then that'll be where I'll put all the other housing blocks. There is a bit of a gap here because I know that this area floods. I don't want to spend time rebuilding things. So we've spent most of our 4,000 drachma to set up this. I'm not even going to feed people yet. I just want to get money first. And yeah, so the people come in from the north there and they exit over here. No road connection between them, which is silly. Anyway, let's speed up time. Now I do have enough that supports at least people being in houses and not getting disease, so they should be fine. And I think the traders come from over here, but we just need to speed up time. Let the people come in. 100 people. Let all the people come in, like so. I don't want to feed the people yet. I don't have the ability to support that industry yet. So we've used up some of our money importing grapes, which is fine. How much is this? 3. Does this only accept 3 loads at a time? Let me just... Oh, a price increase. Whoa, that's a big increase in fleece price. 35 drachma. Let's just boost this to very high. Let's see. I think these only accept a maximum of 3 grapes. So let's just put down another one and empty it out.
I am Poseidon.
No, I don't care about you. So we've spent most of our money and we haven't actually done anything yet. So put down an extra winery here, which allows us to make at least 4 wine at a time. Well, 16 wines, sorry. That's just gone into our first debt. We get 3,000 drachma from Tyre. Wow, that's actually a lot. I could use this opportunity to actually set up other industries, but I think it's better if I don't, if you know what I mean. I'm going to delete 2 tiles of road. Just there. Here I'm going to have probably a large olive oil business, because in this mission we can only import olive oil, but later, I think in the next mission, you'll be able to import olives to make your own olive oil. But again, you're going to be limited. Let us set up a granary here, which is going to accept oranges. Let us put down... let's put down 2 orange tenders. And just slap... no, I don't want those things. Let's just slap some orange fields down. And get some oranges made. But we'll stock this up, and what I'll do is once I have a big huge stockpile, I'll at least feed 1 block up to the next level. We can actually just go ahead and put down biblioteres, just to make sure everyone's got access to at least some sort of science. And that can go there. Actually, can I put that further down? I can, so I can put that there, and then this can be a road tile just around it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there. There we go, then I can have sort of like 1 there. There. Let's just delete these trees. I'm pretty sure I can get 1, 2, yeah, so I can get 3 there. Now we could have a bit of a loop, like so. So he comes down, round, and covers all of this, basically. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the wine to stockpile. I'm going to stockpile a lot of wine before selling it. Once it's fully stockpiled, then I will be able to get some money made by selling it to Carthage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run, and I'm going to come back in once we have something to show, maybe an event or something, but we are going to wait for the oranges to stockpile first, and then we will get selling our wine to make some money. Looks like Estonia has come back to the world. It's blossomed. Let's have a look. So you buy fleece and wine, you sell black marble. Well, I can produce my own black marble, so I don't need to trade with you. And I can sell wine to someone who actually sells me something. So Carthage is more important than Estonia. I mean, I can get all my own marble. I can't sell fleece anyway, and Carthage buys wine, so I'm not really bothered by that trade route, to be honest. This did class because I forgot to put that in, but I put it in now and it's fine. So let's just speed up time. I think maybe some more events will happen. I'm not sure. I can't remember this mission too well. It was a very long one. And one of the colonies is quite annoying. Oh, Syracuse sells more marble. I don't think they were selling marble. No, they weren't. And now they do sell marble. I don't remember them having marble in their map area, but never mind. So anyway, our oranges are coming in. Game guides, like from Impressions, suggest you set up urchins. I don't really recommend that because the urchin points are really far away. There's only like one there and one there and one up there, so it's not really very close to any particular good area. This area here is better because it's a nice open area for trade, so that's why I'm not following the game's advice basically. So let's just speed this up. No, I don't care about you.
Worship me, and the sea will be
So we are making wine. It's a very slow pace here, that's why I'm making oranges. And once I have a stockpile, we will feed one block, get them up. And I might even go ahead and put down the palace straight away. Just fits in there nicely, actually. And yeah, I can get one there. And another one there, so that's like 4 around this point, which is pretty good. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run and I'm going to come back in once we're ready to start feeding one housing block unless something happens. Oh dear, one of the goods that we need, olive oil, has just gone up by 45 drachma. Wheat also went up in price as well at some point, it went up by 30. So in this mission it looks as if importing is very expensive. Now since we are running out of money here, I am going to put down this trade post to Carthage. And they will buy 12 wine. How much does Estonia buy? They buy 12 wine as well. So I might just sell off a bit more. And this is running out of employees because I did put this up to a higher priority, that's why. So I've got some food. Let's put down a common agora here and start feeding this block. Because we are very close to debt here. Now let me just check. This is now placed, so can I put down one? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's space for 2 more there. That's pretty good. So we'll just have to let this fill up. In fact, let's just stockpile. Does that stop you buying? It does. There. Stockpile again. So we're not going to have anyone buy it until this is full. And by having it in stockpile, it means it will just go straight here. So there's a benefit, and we've got some spare grapes, so you can get 4 wineries out of this, because these only take up 3 wine. Not too good, but never mind. So our wine is coming down. 11.
I am Poseidon.
Let's
Worship
stop
me, and the
stockpiling,
sea will befriend you.
and then we can sell the maximum. Here's come Carthage now,
Thrilled when you see what I have to trade.
and here we go, just getting out of debt just in time. We've pretty much, yeah.
Pleasure doing business with
Yes, it was.
I hope Aeolus guides us home.
So at this point, that is our only export. Now we have a bit of money to play with. So let us... how many people can come in? Quite a bit. So let's just expand our orange business. I think there's a few more trees I can put down. Yeah, let's just put... You want to really use all the farmland, basically. And Poseidon is nicely spawning in an area that doesn't allow him access to the sea. I mean, that's great. Let's put down another orange tender just there. You can sort of get the supply up. What we will do is we'll have a granary up here which will be closer to pretty much all of these housing blocks. And then they will have good access to everything. So what is the price of olive oil? It is 225. That's actually very expensive. And wheat is up to 105. Fleece is at 125. The prices of everything is off the scale here, to be honest. I just want to check. I just need to go back. 1, 2. No, let's just check. That's not interrupting everything, so that's fine. So I'm just drawing out plans for later. There's so many trees here that we can destroy quite a few and not have too many issues. So up here we'll have like 4 or 5 blocks of houses. And yeah. So our people are coming in, we're getting more oranges, we're getting more people. And more importantly, we will be able to tax. So let's put down this tax collector right in this palace here, and we'll just tax people right now. And we'll just put it way up to outrageous taxes, since we've got to pay for our stuff anyway. This one line of here is kind of useless, but never mind. And there's space here for all that stuff. And anyway, okay, so I'm going to let this run, and I'm going to come back in once something of interest happens. We just need to stabilize the city and just secure our profit. I know we're not as popular as we once were. But I think my city's scientifically backward. I like that. So we're going to try and sell as much as we can. At this point, we can't really do anything except wait. We've sold as much of the wine as we can, and we're not really going to be getting any more anytime soon. So I'm just going to let this run and stockpile food. At the end of the year, I'll come back in. So it's the next year, and we're still in the black, which is good. And I think we're about to sell our next supply of wine. Pretty much this whole yard will be empty. And I've got a granary up here which is going to get, and that'll bring food closer to this block, which will allow us to evolve it. Just go ahead and do just that. And this will be protected. So this has got one down here for the orange tenders. I will roadblock this once I start to extend this a bit more and get more orange tenders in. Oh, he's going up the wrong way. We don't want him going over there. And what we're doing is we've basically got a granary here accepting oranges, so these guys will deliver pretty quickly. And over here we have a granary buying, basically. Now, why is popularity beginning to sink? Not sure, but maybe it's just because we're paying too high taxes. Let's just reduce that a bit. It's kind of useless when we've got very little money. So we've sold the maximum wine for the year from Carthage. There's no point selling anymore. Importing grapes, so stop selling wine there because we don't need to. So at this point I just got to let this housing evolve now, which I think it will. There we go. Just speed this up. Gary's Blossoms, and I think they might buy stuff. They're a land trade route. They buy black marble and wine. I might export black marble. How much does it cost? 88, that's actually not too bad. So let us just set up a bit of a black marble industry over here. With a...
I am Poseidon. Worship me, and the sea will befriend you.
And let's just put that there. We can just destroy these trees, just in the way at this point. And we'll put that there. Roadblock. Kind of a waste of workers really at this stage when we don't have very many in the first place, but I think it's important that we just consider expanding, really. Now, where can I put this trading post for Gary's? I could put it there, but then that blocks off all this pathway down here. So for now, I'll just put it... Actually, we can just do that. I'm thinking... Let us just put that back, sorry. And we'll just put it to here for now. But I'll do that later when we need to. No need to do it right now. So we'll just let our oranges come in. I'm going to let this run, and at the end of the year I'll come back in. If anything of interest happens, I will come back in for that. But I will come back in a bit later once there's something interesting to show. This might end up being a multi-part mission. So our labour shortage is almost cleared. We've basically got 3 workers missing, which is fine. We are sort of in periods of time running out of grapes because we can only get like 12 a year. So these sometimes do go idle for a while once they've used up the supply for the year. And that's okay. Meanwhile, we have got actually quite a big supply of black marble over here. Let us just put down this trade post straight away and sell black marble. That'll give us another source of money, and that's good use of the funds. I don't care about you, Atlas. Just stockpile black marble in there for a while. 2 black marble quarries should be enough. And I think Gary should be coming in very shortly. Where are they? Oh, here they are. Now actually, can I just slow time down here? Where's the bridge? There it is. I'll just put that bridge there for now. We don't really need it, but it's fine. Buy black marble, and that's just making some more money. So we're starting to get back towards where we were with our starting funds, which has taken a while, actually, to be honest with you. Now, at this point, I'm not interested in trying to import fleece. We need to sort of stabilize this food because we don't have enough. It's getting used up pretty quickly, is what I mean. So we really want to oversupply this and try and get a bigger supply into the yards here. As you can see, we've got 24 wine here, and all of our wineries are empty because they're waiting for grapes. I might start toggling the wine exports and sort of switching between them to try and maximise sales. But I'm not interested in doing that right now. So, food coming back in, here we go. Syracuse is paying their tribute, that's good. So let us just export wine again. Very quickly. There we go, that's us back up. We're up to about 6,000 now, so we have got some money to play with. Right. So, Carthage, you're going to sell us a little bit of fleece. We are not going to import tons, but we are going to import a little bit. And here is going to be a yard getting fleece. And that just makes sure everyone's got access to it from a central distribution area, basically. Now, what's our food like? We've got plenty of food up here. How much is that? That's 2. So 20 oranges are in stockpile, which is not too bad.
Worship me and the sea.
And over here we do have Gady's buying black marble. It looks as if they're coming in that way instead of going through the route I was expecting, but that's okay. So that's going to just supplement our money stocks for a bit. I might even destroy one of them. But for now, we just need to import a little bit of fleece. It is very expensive, so I'm going to have to possibly put down Mistonia's trade post and sell wine there as well, just to sort of get rid of all this wine. We want to maximise it, basically. Let's get rid of all this wine. Happiness monument. Oh, there we go. We got one. Finally. So let's put that there. That's a good place for it, because then I could put another one sort of across from there. Well, sort of. So we'll sell our maximum wine for the year. There we go. Now stop selling wine there. We don't need it anymore. We just need it to stockpile again. So what I am going to do is I am going to do just that. I'm going to max out Carthage for wine sales, and then I'll trade with Mistonia and sell off all the wine I can there, just to maximise wine sales at this point, because there's not much to do with it. So we are selling 24 wine to 2 different cities and a little bit of black marble. So that's going to keep us all in the black. Let's put down a fleece vendor in one block. We don't want to evolve all the housing straight away. And I want to start considering getting this worker shortage sorted, because it is quite big. So we've got plenty of fleece over here. But yeah, so let us just continue on. Get the fleece in. I'm going to come back in once there's something interesting to show. Finally, we have 1,000 people, and we do have some unemployment, so that is perfect news. So let's just put down this monument. I think the monument placement is just a bit off. So let's just move the tax collector to a different position. We'll just put it over there for now. We can move it around later. And just put that there, so it's sort of equal. It just looks much nicer when it's sort of like that. And yeah, we've got some unemployment. This allows us to now expand. We've only got just enough oranges to support this industry, so let's just put down 1, 2, 3 more orange tenders, and we can just put down more orange trees at this point. Sort of expand this a bit much than I needed, but it's okay.
I am Poseidon.
Don't care about you, Poseidon, right now. I'm just trying to stabilise my city. So fleece we can provide to this block as well. Actually, we could move that to there. Makes everything look much nicer, and we'll just give everyone access to labs for now. I don't want to provide observatory access. It's not really necessary at this very moment in time. So at this point, we just want to stabilise our food supply. I'm going to have to let the wine stockpile before I try to sell any more of it, so that will be fine. We might start selling it in the next year, 1993 BC. But for now, we're just going to let our houses evolve, and we're going to stabilise this city and expand our industries as necessary to support some of these goals. We need some people in residences, but we're not going to be able to do that right now. We can certainly not support 3 frigates at this point. So I'm going to let this continue going. I'm going to come back in if anything of interest happens. Okay, so we have got plenty of voyages in stockpile. We've got like full lodges here waiting to deliver them. I put down 1 wood cutter. I might get requests for wood, so I want to have at least a stockpile of it. It's not like I can sell it anyway, and it's a good way to sap up some of this unemployment that we've got here. I don't want to evolve the houses any further though, because I'm going to need to put down other things as well. So let's just make sure there's a 3x3 square all the way down here. Yep, there is. I can put everything down there. Now, in terms of the elite goal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the elite housing on this side. So we're going to have plenty of elite housing over here. By the end of this adventure, we're going to need like 20 elite houses. So there is a lot of elite needed. And so what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a big common area over here, all the common houses here, and all the elite down here. And I'm going to try and squeeze it in as many spaces as I can there, and over here as well. So we're going to have as many people as we can in an elite house or better. For now, we can import bronze, I think, from a city. Yeah, we can import it from Tyre and Saqqara here. We can produce our own armour, so we can get up to quite a fairly high level quickly. But because we can only make money from importing grapes and selling wine, I don't want to I don't want to give wine to anyone yet. And yeah. So we're not going to put these up to the next level, I don't want to do that. So what we'll do is I'll go and plan out some elite housing, because that'll sap up some unemployment. They will be fed on a little bit of urchin that will grow down here. And yes, I'll go and plan out the first elite block. Somewhere, probably here-ish. I'll have 2 next to each other and then a few the others elsewhere over time. But for now, I'm just going to go plan out the first elite block, and I'll come back in once I've done it. Okay, so I have planned out the elite area. I've spent most of my money doing it, so we're going to have 2 blocks here. We'll have a bit of an urchin industry over here. That's used up some of our unemployment, which is good. This will be extended to 6 later, and so I'm going to have 4 houses at the moment in here, 4 elites. Later I will expand this to have 6 houses, because we are going to need 6 houses. The whole block might have to be moved, because it's sort of based on where that is. And I'm not sure if I'll get another 2 houses in there with all the necessary buildings. So in a future mission, I may have to shift all this down and left just to fit it in. Maybe even move it so it's in line with there instead. So there is going to have to be probably some shifting and rearranging of this, but not right now. And for now, we're just going to set up our urchins. There they are, getting made. And we'll have a granary right there. Accepting urchins. Now, because urchins are not plentiful until later, for now I may have to support with a little bit of oranges as well. But for now, we can just keep selling wine. Looks as if we have maxed that out. They're going out anyway, so that's going to give us plenty of time to fill this up with wine. And that's not sell anymore. Just put that down to there. So I want 3 in there. Stop selling there. Okay, actually maxed out. So I sold all the maximum there. In fact, you can just go and get another 12, to be honest, because we're going to come up to the end of the year shortly. Yeah, and there we go. So that's another 10. So let's set that to 2. We want to sort of toggle this in between levels, basically. And here we can sell another 12, to be honest. So there, and now we don't need to sell any more there. Just put that back up to 12. We've maxed that out in 2 months, basically. Hi, Atlas. Come on, give me the remaining 2. There we go. So we'll just sell off all of that. Mistonia should come in very shortly to buy that. And look at the amount of money we have now. There we go. So this is up to basically 10,000, so we've got plenty of money to start doing what we need. So we've got plenty of urchins in a stockpile. What's our worker shortage like? It's not too good. So let us now put down a trade route with Memphis and start importing very small amounts of olive oil. At that price, that is very expensive. So let's just import 2 at a time and just stockpile it in very small amounts, because that's going to drain our funds. I think what I will do is I will move this around because it's not in the right place, to be honest. There's no space really to put. I could put in like 1 or 2 and then no supporting buildings and that would be it. So I am going to move this around and I will, yeah. I'm going to come back in once I place down the first elite housing for this mission. Okay, so I did check and this does fit. As you can see, it is quite tight, but it does fit. So I can get 2 small buildings right here, like a tax collector, and then I can get 1 3x3 like an inventor's workshop just there, and there will be space for it, so that's okay. I thought for one wild moment I wouldn't be able to get anything in there, but for now what we are going to do is put down, oops, not that, an oil vendor, and we're going to evolve 1 block up to the requirement of 800 people in townhouse or better, which does mean we are going to have to put down a university right there and build the observatory just there, and there is space, so they're not going to be conflicting or anything, which is good. And we get about 4,400 drachma a year, and we spend about 2,200 on wage rate, so we are covering, taxes are covering our wages, which is the point basically. So all of these houses are now evolved. So that is us up to this goal, I think, almost.
I am Poseidon.
Don't care about you, Poseidon. Not right now, anyway. So people are still coming in, very slowly. So this is up to 10,000 drachma, so we've got plenty coming in. Plenty of olive oil imported. We are importing 2 at a time with a limit of 12, so it's okay. If I need to make more money, I can just sell wine, but I think we are starting to make a good return on profits here. So at this point, I just need to get a population or happiness point to start putting down elite housing. We'll put down 2 of them at once, and then we will be fine. So at this point, there's nothing to do except wait. I need to get some monuments before I can do anything to reach some of the goals. Have we met the townhouse goal? Not yet. I don't think everyone's come in. I think it's because these houses at the end here haven't fully evolved. We can sort that by moving the lab over here and deleting that. Oh, it's not evolved it. Never mind. So yeah, I'm just going to let this run and I'm going to come back in once we have the monuments ready to support at least 4 elite houses for our goals. Okay, so we have put down our first 2 elite housing here. Not much, but it's something. And we are going to put down all the necessary buildings that we need them to use. So we've got 2 inventors' workshops and 3 universities. It is a bit much, but I'm thinking they will get access. So for now, at this point, we just have enough to support 2. And we are making armor. We're importing a little bit of bronze out of Tyre here. Just 4 at a time, and we're making armor, which is pretty good. And we're getting it over here. Now, where are you lot going? Are you going to some other... oh no, you're just going there and you're just going a long distance. Okay, fine. We'll put down food, fleece, and oil. Now, you should be getting these, but I think it's just because they're so far away that, and all of it's getting used up in this one here, that they're just not importing enough. Now, I think we might be able to get fleece from another place. Actually, no. I forgot. You don't get fleece until another source of fleece until the next mission. So let's just speed up time. So these 2 just need access to some armor, and we will provide them with armor. I think that's the most reasonable thing. So these guys will be fed on basically a mix of urchin and oranges, because later we'll have to put a load of oranges down there anyway. Because this won't support everyone, essentially. We do have our first goal, which is 800 people in townhouse or better with 2 blocks. Not enough workers coming out of it, so we may need another block soon. But I don't think this is the right time to be building additional blocks, because it's not. So let's put down an armor vendor there. We'll get at least a little bit of armor into the system. Yeah, involve they need access to wine. So it says 10, 20, this needs 40, so we need basically 4 elite houses. But I will have to put down more common housing, so I may have to start planning for that now. Ish. let's say I just clear some trees here. Got a lot of trees here, we can afford to cut down a number of them. No, I'm not going to use that area of meadowland, there's no point. You can get enough food from without using that. Just draw a road around there in a circle, just have it all connected in one loop. So anyone who's here can go down to this granary if that's considered nearer. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it for this point anyway, and we are going to run this on and just sort of stabilise the city. I need to get another monument anyway, and yeah. So I'll come back in once there's something interesting to show. Most likely when I've met the resident school is when I'll come back in and stabilise the city and all that such as well. So yeah, I'll come back in a bit later. Okay, so we are pretty much stabilising the city. I've got this block up and we have quite a lot of unemployment. So this is a good time, I think, to cross this bit of river. And we're going to put down the first of 3 frigates that we're going to require. So let's put down, where is it? Frigate wharf here. So let's put this down. And this will be roadblocked. There. And we'll put down a bridge right there where I've measured just perfectly to get across. And it's not going to be disturbed or anything, so that's fine. So let us put down, what else can we put down? It is one of these, that's what we need to put down. But I'll put it there just so it's out of the way, not too much in a problematic area. We are still selling wine, but it's sort of in bursts when I need it, really. It's not really consistent. Meanwhile, we do have 4 mansions, which does meet this goal of 40 people in residence or better, so that's fine. If I do get any more monuments, I will put down those 2 there. Maybe even bring wine over here, to be honest. Let's put down this storehouse. And what we're going to do is we're going to have fleece getting into this yard instead, as well as olive oil. So our 2 sort of generic commodities will go here, and in here we will have the specific goods. And then here we'll have this get 8 wine. And we will bring over wine and just get the houses up to a higher level. Got plenty of money. Our elite housing will pay for itself, so that's good. This has got a full crew. I don't think I'll import orichalc. In fact, does anyone even sell orichalc? No, so it doesn't matter. No one sells orichalc, so I can't give them Atlantean fire. Not yet, anyway. My imported a bit much bronze here, so let's just tore that down to 2. I'm now able to support importing 4 olive oil at a time from Memphis. We will be able to boost that in the next mission, so it's not a big deal. Might as well put in an oil vendor here. All of this is within range of this, so that's good. Let's just check. No goods. He's in within range. That's perfect. I might get another monument there, but I can't do anything much else at this point. What I will do is just turn these off and such and just build more. So that is 1 frigate. Let's put down another frigate right here. And we can just send this crew home. Like that, and that supports the people needed in that, which is good. And yeah, so we'll just keep this running. What I'll do is I'll just let this run. I might boost the city a bit more, might put down another block. Well, I'll evolve this at least, so this will provide the next level. We might as well just put down this observatory right here. Need another university, so we'll just put one of those down. This guy goes up and down here, and this is all just really for that, so it's not too bad. I think what I will do is when I come back here, this will open up and I'll have a direct route going down here instead of them going up and round, really. Just quicker. But that's all for the next mission anyway. We don't have to worry about that right now.
Poseidon.
Or a future mission, sorry.
And the sea will
So this will build. That's 2 frigates, so I just need 1 more. So what I'll do is I'll keep this going. We'll get this housing up to the next level. I may even be able to afford keeping some of these frigates on, actually. And yeah, I'll just keep this running. I'll come back in when we're ready to build the final frigate, which will allow us to win the mission. Okay, so we are ready to basically win this mission. So I did delete the Mistonia trade post because if I look at my taxes, I get like 12,000 drachma in taxes than I do from exporting. So I do make more money from taxes than I need to in exports, so I don't need to export. I've put down another happiness monument. just to prepare for later. And I have evolved these up to manners by providing them with access to wine, which means we have 64 qualifying, so it's more than enough. Let us now put down the final frigate that we need to win this mission, right there. We may have to move these around or put them somewhere else. By the last mission I will just dump like 6 frigates all the way over here, but for now, just where they are is perfectly fine until later. If I need to move them, then I can do that. And yeah, I think what we'll do is maybe put a different trade post in there when we get access to another trade post. So I'm just going to wait for this to flow in. I think I've saved, let's just save again. So this has 1 armor, it just needs another 2 armor to come in, and that will be more than enough. There we go. So that's going to build the last frigate, which will allow us to win the mission, and show that we are on our way to rebuilding Atlantis. Just get that frame rate lag that happens every so often. Gonna finish very shortly. There we go. And that's us done. Mission over. With the startings of our new city at Clietos, I think is how he said it. Yep, please support it, and yeah. We're on our way to rebuilding Atlantis in this first mission. Long episode, you've got to start very small and pretty much expand as quickly as you can, but with limited funds. But we don't need to worry about that now. We have won the mission, and now we're just going to wait for the month to tick over to show that we have won. Pretty sure it should come very shortly.
Dateline Clietos. Atlanteans everywhere are dancing and singing in the streets, for Clietos truly is a remarkable city. It is a bastion of science, and people from all over the 10 kingdoms clamor to see the mighty city for themselves. But what's this? Trouble with our Egyptian friends? It seems that the Egyptians, who owe much to the brave explorers who brought Atlantean knowledge to the Nile's shores, are withholding much needed wheat from Atlantis, and have been raising the prices on goods important to Atlantean survival. Great King Atlan himself has vowed to pay a visit to our Egyptian friends, to remind them of all the wonderful things that Atlanteans have brought them.
Yes, indeed. So it looks as if Egyptians have been a bit of a nasty bunch to us. They have been increasing prices, which they did. They increased oil, fleece, and wheat prices unnecessarily. But never mind, that was Reconstruction. We started the city of Clietos, and we have, I think there's some spelling errors, because it says here CLE, and this is CLI, which is interesting. Anyway, that was Reconstruction. We have built up the beginnings of Clietos. In the next mission, we're going to come back to Clietos and expand it further, with more elite housing and possibly more trade partners, but there might be a bit of warfare. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next part, guys. Bye now.